saying, like the poet is saying, we don't have land, and India is asking, our country is asking to like say you are you proud to be a Indian or nationalist. आणि पायात ठेवायला जमीन का नाही, वनवास रामाचा सांगत्यात बाई, आणि वनवास रामाचा 14 वर्ष बाई, अनामचा वनवास जन्माचा बाई ग, अनामचा वनवास जुलमाचा बाई, आणि त्याच आहे का कुणाला काय, आणि भीम गरजून सांगतो गा बाई, आणि मागून मिळणार नाही, मागून मिळणार नाही, कसेल त्याचीच होईल भोई, आणि कसेल त्याचीच होईल भोई, आणि मागून मिळणार नाही, मागून मिळणार नाही. भीम पुतळ्यातून बाहेर ये बाबा, आणि भीम भजनातून बाहेर ये बाबा, आणि वार मुक्तीच घेऊन ये बाबा, आणि नव विचार घेऊन ये बाबा. भीम येणार पण अवतार घेऊन नाही, उद्याचे डॉक्टर बाबासाहेब आंबेडकर हे तुमच्या आमच्या चळवळीतून येणार आहे, म्हणून माझी आई वाट बघते आहे. भीम येणार बाई, आणि वाट पाहते आई, वाट पाहते आई, वाट पाहते आई, वाट पाहते आई. जय भीम.
Thank you, Vikas, for such a energetic song you sing for us. It literally gave me shivers. My name is Nayan Meshram. I'm a student at Columbia University. I would just like to thank Global Studies of Columbia University who helped us arrange this program and provided us room for the program. For this, I would like to call Ms. Pamela Graham. She is the Director of Global Studies and Humanities and Center for Human Rights Documentation. Please, ma'am. Sure. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And thank you, Vikas, for those moving words and song. Really a pleasure to be here. I just wanted to briefly extend a very, very warm welcome to everyone here in person and to all the guests who are joining online. We're very honored to have you in this space, just as we've been honored for decades to have the statue of Dr. Ambedkar in our library. We received that statue back in 1995, and it's been housed in this library for decades. And we have been so honored over the years to have different visitors come to the spot so they can reflect on the legacy and the life of Dr. Ambedkar. Of course, when he was here at Columbia, this library didn't exist. He would have been at Low Library, you can imagine. But we know this is a fitting space. It's a building that brings together many people from around the world.
Sound is very low.
Yeah, oh, okay, I'll
Sorry.
move a little closer. So anyway, that I just wanted mostly to extend a very warm welcome. We're so glad that you're joining us and that you can use this space to come together to reflect on the legacy and life of Dr. Ambedkar. Many, many thanks.
Thank you, ma'am, for sharing your thoughts on Dr. Ambedkar. As we have gathered here today, I would like to encourage everyone to connect with other person so that we can work together for the common goal of bringing equality in our society and across the globe. I would like to welcome our first guest, Professor Jayanti, who is an adjunct professor at School of Public and International Affairs at Columbia University. He's like a living legend. He did a lot of work for USA as well as other countries. In 1980, he co-founded Afghan Relief Committee. He received Order of Honor of Republic of Georgia. Also, he was a key drafter for in interim peace constitution for Nepal. It's a pleasure to have you, sir, here. Please welcome Professor Jayanti.
Thank you. It's an honor to be part of this, and it's obviously a challenge to make a few comments in a short period of time on someone who is actually a living legend, although he's not always appreciated as being a living legend. Let me say this and put it into a different context because there are a number of different speakers. One is, I'm going to talk a little bit about Columbia. Two, the person and the institution. Why Columbia? He was a student at Columbia. He was a student at Columbia, and he was influenced a lot by, among others, Professor Lewis. Okay, sorry. Who ingrained in him a concept of education, which is very important. But let me, before I go into particulars about him as a person and as a legacy, let me go about Columbia. Columbia has a legacy of freedom and liberty. It changed its name from King's College, which was the original name in 1754, became Columbia. But what is also known when you go around the campus is Alexander Hamilton. He was one of the signers of the Constitution, as well as Governor Morris. We also had John Jay as one of the founding fathers. We had, in fact, 4 founding fathers here at this university. So we have a legacy of liberty and freedom. When we move fast forward, we also have some people who are of the comparable stature to your hero. One is one that's not really known, Pixley Seme from South Africa. He was the founder of the African National Congress. He was a student here around 1905. It's hard to believe. The legacy goes on. We also had a woman, a suffrage, a Chinese woman, who was a suffrage. She was not allowed to vote when women were allowed to vote because of discrimination. Her name is hardly known at this point. It is a name that is Mabel Ingwa Lee. She is also a hero, an unsung hero. What I'm getting at is Columbia has produced a number of real heroes, including the person we are honoring today. We should never forget that. Now, what is unusual about him? Yes, he wrote the Constitution. He was the key. That's very important because it gave life and liberty, education to many underprivileged people in India, your country, the Dalits. That is a remarkable achievement because it affected millions of people. But he was more than that, to be quite frank. Why was he more than that? Because he was also a person of character that made that possible. What do I mean? Let me quote my father, who has obviously nothing to do with this. He said, if you had a bad day, if you had a good day, you can get up in the morning. If you had a bad day, you can get up. He had many bad days. He wrote about the fact that he couldn't have water sometimes in school because he wasn't allowed to touch. They had to pour the water. But he persisted in doing what he's doing. So it's not the remarkable fact that he wrote the Constitution. It's the remarkable fact that he stayed with it till he achieved something. He was persistent, he kept at it, and he got up day to day, no matter what the hardships were. That is what is the real inspiration of the person. Because yes, I did write a Constitution for Nepal. I sat in my room, I negotiated. I did not have the day-to-day challenges that he had. That is the remarkable thing. And what was the basis of his education? Getting the education. He was sometimes the only Dalit in the school, but yet he got up and continued no matter what the obstacles. When he formed a consultancy, he lost the clients when they found out his background, but he got up in the morning and continued. So I think you should look at him as a person who inspires by his being, by his persistence, by getting up, because it's easy to do an exam, for example, your students. It's easy to write that. But getting up every morning when you have hardships, that's something to be achieved. So in that sense, it's remarkable that he wrote the Constitution. Now, what's remarkable about the Constitution? He put in equality as a concept. Do we need to put equality? Shouldn't that be a God-given right that everyone is equal? The Declaration of the U.S. Independence said that all men are equal. Admittedly, it should also be all women. Everyone is equal. So he had to put it into a constitution, but you are the living legacy of that because you are here today in Columbia. So his remarkable achievement is one word: inspiration. He inspired others, and you are the legacy that will continue this inspiration. But what else did the Constitution do? Which is even more important than the words. It gave respect, it gave dignity, it gave inspiration for people. Everyone is entitled to respect. The Constitution engraved it. The only question we sometimes have, do we need a written document to get respect? We shouldn't have to, but he found it necessary and he did. So before I conclude, I want to say one more thing. He is not just India's legacy. He's not just Columbia's legacy. He's also a legacy and an inspiration for the women of the world. Because he, before it became common to have votes feminists, he wrote, "I measure the progress of a community by the degree of progress which women have." Simple, but it's true. Women have the right to the same progress as everyone else does. So I'd like to leave with a recommendation. I respect that Columbia has said we have a bust of him here. This is hidden, to be quite frank. We ought to have a tower of liberty and freedom that enters Columbia for the world to see, which would be him, Seme, and also Miss Lee and others, because we have a history. We also had a freedom fighter right in the law school for the blacks, Meredith. So we have a history of liberty and freedom at Columbia. And I must say, when I first got to Columbia, which was yesterday for the record, when I was a student, okay, I walked around and I saw the statue of Alexander Hamilton, and I saw others. And I said, I'm proud to be here. I hope I can live up to the legacy that they left. So I want you to go forth and live his legacy and make it not just limited to India, not just limited to Columbia, but make it for the world. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor, for your insights about Dr. Ambedkar. Really, the Babasaheb was a legacy. It should be renowned around the world for the work that he has done.
Jayanti.
Now our second speaker, guest speaker is Mr. J.V. Pawar, sir. Many people know him for the Dalit Panther movement that he started in India. He is also best known for his novels, Balidan and Naki, which he wrote in 1969. He edited and wrote more than 5,000 poems and articles related to Babasaheb Ambedkar. It's an honor to have you, sir, here. Please welcome Mr. J.V. Pawar, sir.
Sir, you are mute. Yes, sir.
तुम्ही म्यूटवर आहात जबी.
सर तुमचं म्यूट आहे. सर तुमचं म्यूट आहे. कॅन यू प्लीज रिमूव्ह द म्यूट? म्यूट काढू शकता सर? Okay, so let's go further and we can ask him to do technical issue. Okay. Yes, sir. आवाज येतोय आता, बोलू शकता.
Now you can hear me.
Yes.
So I pay my tribute to Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar on his 131st birth anniversary, and I also pay my Bhim to all of you viewers, and participants of this program. You know that Babasaheb Ambedkar has fought for the upliftment of the scheduled caste people. He never used the word Dalit, but from beginning he was working for the betterment of downtrodden people. He used the word backward, used the oppressed, depressed, rejected. These words he has used. And for the betterment of these people, he has worked from 1919 onward. You know that he was having the four type of his movement. One type was he was fighting in the street. Secondly, he was fighting, he was working with the help of houses. Then he has working uh, with the help of legal packs and also from the management point of view. So in 1927, first he has started the street Lara, and that was the first because that time uh, a bill was passed in the then the Mumbai Assembly that those resources, water resources, should be available to the scheduled caste people, scheduled caste people. But these people's the water, drinking water, was not. It was denied to them. And first time he has started. Why he has started the program of water only? We know that water is always in the same length, same length. You know, if the water maybe in a sea, in maybe in a glass, that water is having the samanta. So this for the sake of samanta, that means from very beginning he was working with the doctrine of Lord Gautam Buddha. Buddha, you know that he was working for the uh, Samta, Swatantra and Bandhuta. For this Samta, Baba Sahib has started from the Chaudhar tank, because water is always in simple same line. So Baba Sahib has started this public agitation because in 1924 he has given the mantra that the agitate, educate. So for this agitation, he has started this Mahad tank, and from that, as I told you, that he was also fighting from the Kotrapura. So during that period, he was he fought in court and he got the success about the Chaudhar tank. In the same year, on 25th December 1927, he has burned the Manusmriti, the secret book of Hinduism. Why he has burned it? Because that was the book which was giving the doctrine that the ढोल शूद्र और नारी सब है ताड़न के अधिकारी. Means all people, this ढोल, then the nari, that is lady, and shudra. These are only to be beaten. They should be beaten only. So for these nari and shudra to for them he has burned this Manusmriti on 25th December 1927. So that also, the case was gone in the court of law. There also he could get success. So Babasaheb Ambedkar was working for the betterment of the people, and in 1927 to 1935, he has work in many aspects of the life, but he could not get much success. So that's why he had decided on 13th October 1935 that he will give up the Hindu Dharma, and he said that uh, in which religion I should take birth, that was not in my hand, but in which religion I should die, that is in my hand. And that's why he has not uttered the word Buddha, but he has decided from early days. Uh, Many people say that Babasaheb Ambedkar has studied for 21 years and then he had decided to embrace the Buddhism. But this is a totally wrong. But from very beginning, from the 1919, yeah, when he has started, from that only, the impact of Buddhism was on him, and he had decided that he will embrace the Buddhism. So 13 October 1935, he had declared that he will not die in Hindu Dharma, and then on the 14th October 1935, you know that he has embraced the Buddhism. In between, Babasaheb Ambedkar has worked for. He could have earlier also embraced the Buddhism in 1930 also he could. But he said that I want to embrace the Buddhism with the help of lakhs of people, not alone. Like that time, even some few people they have left the Hinduism, but the Hindu could not get any effect on that. So he said that if I live this Hindu Dharma with the help of lakhs of people, then it will have some effect. So that but how people will come with him, they should have a faith in him. So for gaining the faith, he has worked for their betterment. And you know, from the 1937, when he was the MLA in the then the Mumbai Assembly, from that time, whatever the resolution he has passed, that was for the betterment of people only. So when people they say in 1942 also he became the labor member, that means labor minister in Governor General. Okay. So from there also he has worked for the upliftment of the total society. Even ladies also he has worked many things like that. So
Sorry to
people,
disturb you. We just have limited amount of time. If you can conclude it next 2 or 3 minutes, it will
if
be
he
helpful. Thank
faith, he could have secured the faith around 14 January, 14 October 1956, he embraced the Buddhism. And from that day, we say that because of the Buddhism, now the Ambedkar people, they got the success in every life. And I say that not only in India, wherever the Buddhism is existing, wherever the Buddhism, Buddha Dhamma is in working, that country only could get the success or the develop. India is not developed country. It is because here Buddha is not accepted. So now many people in India, by the way of constitution, if you see the Indian constitution, you will find the Buddha's thought, Buddha's thinking is embraced in this constitution only. And because of this constitution, constitution, we will get all type of facility, all even ladies, everybody will get facilities, and India can shine with the help of this constitution only. This constitution is in danger nowadays, but all people of India, all Indian people, they should collectively fight for the existence of Indian Constitution. Babasaheb Ambedkar Constitution is so important that whole of the world they have appreciated this Constitution, and with this Constitution only we can lead our life, or we can achieve our development. With this, I thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, JV Pawar sir, for your insights on Dr. Ambedkar. It's a commendable job you did. Now our next speaker is Sujat Prakash Ambedkar. He is a scholar from Royal Holloway College, London, and he is a great grandson of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Please welcome Sujat.
First of all, I would like to pay my respects to Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar and my homage on his birthday, or as we call it, on Bhim Jayanti. Respected Professor Yannick Grandin, respected Dr. Vaman Gawai, respected Dr. Prashant Nanavare, and respected Javi sir, all my fellow students, my brothers, my sisters, and all the professors, I would like to wish you all a very warm Jai. While I would like to urge each and every one of you that we all are standing here and have come here to pay our respect and celebrate Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar's Jayanti, and we all have understood his preaching. But on this day, I would just want to come and speak to you as a student and ask for a collective conscience to do more. Let us not only understand what he says, but try and implement of all of his sayings, which may be in the freedom of speech and expression, the values of liberty, the values of equality, and the values mainly of human rights that Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar gives. While saying that, it's just impossible to limit or shell down everything that Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar did, because he encompassed and spoke up about a lot of different topics, a lot of different areas, maybe economics, maybe sociology, maybe politics, maybe legal rights, maybe humanities. But one thing I would like to present in front of you all is to never take any of what Babasaheb Ambedkar said in isolation. If we understood Babasaheb Ambedkar, he speaks about political freedom. He speaks about social mobility. But at the same time, he always connects social mobility and the political freedom to really being free if we do not have the economic freedom. And that is a very important aspect to understand, that if we are truly politically free and socially upward, or have achieved the upward mobility we want in the social sense, are we really free if we do not have the purchasing power, or if we do not have the economic freedom? And with that, because this event is at Columbia and most of the people are from the academic sector, I would just like to slightly divert my last 2 minutes towards the field of education. As you have seen across the world right now, many of Indians have captured important spaces as CEOs, maybe Microsoft, Twitter, Pepsi, and multiple companies and multiple organizations. But I just want to put the fact in front of you all that this would have been completely impossible if it weren't for Babasaheb Ambedkar's education and the policy around education inserted in our constitution and presented as a value of socially welfare state. And just to conclude, I know there are lot more speakers, I won't take much of your time. Just to conclude, there's a lot of hatred that goes around in the field of education, where criticism of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar comes because a lot of Savarnas, upward people, have criticized Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar on the principle of reservations. Now, there are two angles of looking at it. Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar firmly believed that education should be a state responsibility, and every national citizen should be given free, equal, and quality education despite his or her caste, creed, religion, gender, or even sexuality. And there's a lot many cases coming up today where people say that because of reservations, we are not getting enough seats. Because of reservations, a lot of brilliant minds are being left out. To all those, I just want to say a simple thing. The fact that many people are not getting quality education doesn't boil down to reservation. It only boils down to the fact that India as a country is not focusing enough on education. The fact that not enough people get admissions in the respected or the colleges or the universities of their choice simply shows that there aren't enough number of seats. And just to conclude, I'd just put an important note in front of you. If Babasaheb Ambedkar's vision was completed, followed, and there were enough importance given to education, we wouldn't have had so many Indian students stuck in Ukraine who had gone to do their MBBS. I'll just leave this thought with you. There are a lot more credible and very important speakers who should be addressing you all more rather than me. But at the end, I would just like to give my respect and thank you to Vikas Tatad and the organizers for having me over. Wish you all a very happy Jayanti. Jai Bhim.
Thank you, Sujat, for your insight on the education about Ukraine and many other things. It was really beautiful what you shared with us. Now our third speaker is Dr. Vaman Gawai. Dr. Vaman Gawai is a visiting faculty at Ambedkar Thoughts Department in Amravati University, which is in India. He was the first PhD holder from Amravati University who submitted his dissertation on topic Ambedkarite movement after Ambedkar in Vidarbha region. He also wrote a book Ambedkari Chळवळीचा Shakti Sangharsha. It's an honor to have you, sir, here. Please share your thoughts. Thank you.
Sir, you are mute.
Many thanks for Columbia University for the celebration of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar. I would like to explain myself in shortly that the goal of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar is only emancipation of the mankind, not one single part of the society, but mankind, entire mankind. Emancipation is the main and ultimate goal of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar. For that purpose, he says that man is the end in himself, and all the institutions like the state, government, religion, and constitutions, or each or every institutions which is made by the society should be work for achieve the end, but it's Dr. Ambedkar means to emancipation of the humankind. I would like to say that Dr. Ambedkar staunchly supporter of the democracy, but he wants such type of democracy in which economical and social development of each and every person get opportunity without having bloodshed. For that purpose, he always opposed to the dictatorship, but he want democracy, popular government, as well as entire government should have opportunity to the minorities, each and every part of the society to participate in governance, as well as have right to vote to create the institutions of the democracy. That's why popular government as well as the people should have the right to choice. That's why we want to create such type of the institutions, such type of political, economical system. To do so, he always the part that is a self-respect. One should have self-respect, and it should come from the education. And education is must and most important, which can give opportunities to expand, to develop their all the capacities, those who having the mankind. I would like to say that Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar has a very great man who fought for the right of right of the mankind, right of the downtrodden class, right of the woman, as well as the right of the common man without having any discrimination, caste, creed, race, religion, as well as gender. And he always tried himself to create such a type of governance, such a type of society through the constitution. I would like to say that Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, the moment was not only the authority. Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar's movement was fight for the power struggle, and that is the power which can be bring out changes, expected changes in others' behavior, having a relation, creating a relation. That relations are most important for the sake of the power. He also used the constitutional way as well as the lawful way, and he also against dictatorship and want to work for all mankind all over the world. Thanks, Jai Bhim.
I think Vikas, you're talking, then you're on mute.
Oh, sorry, can you repeat it because it was mute?
Oh.
Yeah, please. You can- yeah.
Thank you, Aman Gavi sir, for your thoughts on the Dr. Ambedkar. Now our next guest speaker is Dr. Prashant Narnavre. He is an IAS officer of Indian Administrative Service of 2009 batch. Currently, he is working as a commissioner for Social Justice Welfare Department. Please welcome Dr. Prashant Narnavre sir. It's an honor to have you sir here.
Good afternoon and Jai Bhim to all the dignitaries and friends. First of all, I would like to pay my respects to Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar. I take honor and pleasure in attending 131st Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar celebration organized by Ambedkarite students of Columbia and Global Studies. I wish all the dignitaries and attendees very happy Babasaheb Ambedkar Jayanti. Caste systems, social segregation and social discrimination was in practice in India since thousands of years. Millions of people were deprived of their rights as humans. Supremacy by birth was established religious practice. When humans used to rule over another and used to dictate their lives by claiming sanctity of religious texts. Only the handful of people were having right to education and only they could claim dignified lives for themselves. Society was divided into 4 Varnas, the Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and Shudras. Brahmin being the highest and Shudra being the lowest in caste hierarchy. Shudra formed the bulk of society. They did not have right to education, nor did they have right to own property. They were compelled to accept and practice occupation and trade allotted to them by higher castes and their religious texts. There was a section of society who were still below Shudras, called as Avarnas or Atishudras. They were considered as the most impure human beings on the basis of the caste they were born into. They were considered so impure that their touch or mere sight puts other caste people to impurity. They were on the mercy of other castes. They were asked to live outside the village. They were not having right to access even basic amenities such as proper housing, water and sanitation. They were made to derive their livelihood out of the most menial and dirty works, such as removing the carcasses of dead animals and carrying human excreta over their head. Indignity was their fate, and atrocity against them was a practice. With no avenue of proper livelihood and no opportunity to have access to resources, for thousands of years, their generation perished in darkness and oblivious. They were called untouchables, as it was impure to touch them, and Dalits, as they were considered downtrodden. Bhimrao Ramji Ambedkar, belonging to this so-called untouchable community, With advent of British people in India, opportunity of education was marginally opened to all sections of society. With help of enlightened rulers like Maharaja Sayajirao Gaikwad of Baroda and Chhatrapati Shahu Maharaj of Kolhapur, he could secure education in Columbia and other renowned universities of the world. With great knowledge at his disposal, this great man rejected the traditions of indignity. He raised voice against oppression and at the onset of Indian independence, gave every citizen of India equal right and equal opportunity to prosper, irrespective of their caste, creed, race, religion, or gender, by drafting excellent Constitution of India, which we all enjoy today. Today, after more than 75 years of independence, his efforts seems to be bearing fruit. Thanks to Dr. Bhim Ramji Ambedkar, today we have president of the country belonging to the depressed community. We have prime minister who is from so-called backward community, and both of them were second to none in their administrative capacities. We had Chief Justice of India belonging to the so-called Dalit community. Today, we have doctors, engineers, civil servants, judges, politicians, academicians, businessmen from these sections who were deprived till now. The efforts of just one man could change the entire worldview of the society. This is nothing less than a great social revolution in the modern world. Today, rightly, we all are assembled here to celebrate the birth anniversary of the father of this great social revolution. In spite of these changes, still we see today atrocities and discrimination against weaker sections. Though some people got opportunity to get educated and improve their life, majority of them are still facing poverty and discrimination. Government of India and state governments are running several schemes to support these sections of society. Funding students in foreign universities is one such scheme to provide deprived sections greater opportunities to prosper. Government, civil society elements, and intelligentsia like us have to take up this as a mission to bring down dawn of prosperity and equality into the lives of millions of depressed class people. The thoughts of Babasaheb Ambedkar are the only solution to the social disability we are facing. Educate, agitate, and unite is an agenda on which we all have to work. Unity, tolerance, equity, fraternity, equality, and justice are the moral principles on which these thoughts stand. Modern Indian society needs to be built on these strong foundations. Such strong society, which is based on peaceful coexistence and mutual respect, will pave way towards strong, united, and prosperous nation that we all want so dearly. We have a long way to go. Babasaheb already heralded that long journey. We, as his followers, have responsibility to bring his dream to reality. His birth anniversary each year remind us of the great responsibility that we have all before us. With that sense of responsibility and gratitude, I pay my deep respect to Babasaheb Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar and thank organizers for inviting me for this august function. Jai Bhim.
Wow, that's a beautiful speech. In short term, you explain a lot of things about the story of Babasaheb since the start and the current situation of the people in India. Just like me, I'm also a scholarship holder from the state government of India, and social justice department really doing a great job. Thank you for that, and thank you, sir, for giving your precious time to us. Now our next guest speaker is Dr. Hemangi Kadlak. She is Dean at Mahatma Gandhi College of Social Work, Delhi, and work as an assistant professor at School of Social Sciences and Language of VIT in Tamil Nadu. She is also executive director of Sri Vajin Foundation, which works for the women empowerment. It's an honor to have you here. Please go ahead and share your thoughts. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Jai Bhim to everyone. Firstly, I would like to thank the Ambedkarite students of Columbia and Global Studies from the Columbia University of USA for inviting me to share a few words with you all on the occasion of 131st birth anniversary of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, part of this live event. Today, I will be focusing on what Dr. Ambedkar means to me and how do I see Dr. Ambedkar from a global perspective. Columbia University tour to Columbia University by the Dr. Ambedkar Foundation, Minister of Social Justice and Empowerment, India, on the occasion of one Ambedkar. In my visit to the Columbia University, my emotions were overwhelmed because I could get a chance to see where Babasaheb studied, the libraries he studied in, the places he might have used for his long-lasting continuous sleeping hours for his studies. I felt the same feeling in the UK in 2013 and even visited his library where we have an emotional bond to him and revere it. For me, Babasaheb is a vision, ambition, and solace to the problems, future of the world. For us, Dr. Ambedkar is a source to understand our history, work on our present, and envisage the future. We try to understand him through his writing and speeches and other forms of literature. From our childhood, we have been listening to the songs made about him and also hearing stories from our elders from which we learned about what he did for the whole of humanity. He's a role model not only for the people, not only for the people from the deprived sections of India, but for people of various other countries as well. They are getting lessons and learning from his life. There are so many organizations, universities, and governments that have done many things to recognize the work of Dr. Ambedkar. But I will share the recent happenings that have been taking place around the world. A high school named Dr. Ambedkar High School, Mislek, has started in Hungary. The province of British Columbia, US, declared 14th April as Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Equality Day. Globally, intellectuals, people from disadvantaged backgrounds are appropriating Dr. Ambedkar as their icon. Educated youth who go out India for higher education or jobs are spreading the message in the outside world and representing the deprived sections and nation at large. They also raise their voice when they find any discrimination and atrocity. There are a lot of bursts of Dr. Ambedkar that can be seen in foreign universities. Columbia University had uploaded Babasaheb's writing on its website, and other universities have also kept his writing for study. After seeing all these things, the question comes in my mind that why do people accept him as a role model and can relate to his struggle? The answer is it is because his work was not for any particular caste or religion, but his work was for across all sections of people who are struggling to reclaim the human personality. Through his life, we can comprehend the importance and reasons to pursue higher and quality education and work for the society. He might be one of the only leaders in the world that brings people from all corners of the globe to celebrate his birth anniversary voluntarily. He binds us together in one ideology that is Dr. Ambedkar's ideology to work for the disadvantaged sections of society and to spread equality, liberty, justice, and fraternity in society. Dr. Ambedkar was already a global citizen at a young age by pursuing his higher education in different universities across the world. Dr. Ambedkar might have learned to connect with people of different countries from his teacher Mahatma Jyotirao Phule. Mahatma Phule in 1873 dedicated his book Slavery to the good people of the United States as a token of admiration for his sublime, disinterested, and self sacrificing devotion in the causes of Negro slavery. At that time, even upper caste people would rarely go for higher studies abroad. As per the Hindu religion, crossing the sea and going out to other countries was considered a sin. Irrespective of these religious and socio-cultural norms in the early 1900s, Babasaheb went to USA and England for his higher studies. He had 4 doctoral degrees and 2 masters, plus he knew several European languages and quite a few Indian languages, including Sanskrit and Pali. He was the first person from South Asia to have been conferred a degree of PhD in economics from Columbia University in 1917. Dr. Ambedkar was only 24 years old when he wrote his paper on caste in India, their mechanism, genesis, and development. He studied MSc in 1921 and GSc in 1923 in London School of Economics. He received a bachelor degree in 2020 from Bay in London. From 1922 to 1923, he spent some time reading economics at the University of Bonn in Germany. Because of his quest for education and utilizing that education to serve humanity, people have started popularly knowing him as symbol of knowledge. When he was in India after his higher education and started working for society, he had selected some students and sent them to England for their higher education. I would like to say that because of him, we started thinking about taking higher education abroad. Through him, we developed a global perspective in us. His decision to convert Buddhism was also a conscious decision. He knew the impact of Buddhism on our people, and therefore he refused to accept many proposals from different religious leaders to convert to their respective religions. He accepted the religion which has an Indian root but has followers at a global level. He started the journey to become a global citizen for us. Therefore, the whole credit goes to Babasaheb for making us global citizens. With few words, I am ending my talk and again wishing all a happy Bhim Jayanti and long live Babasaheb. Thank you all for patiently listening to me.
Thank you, Dr. Himangi. It was really insightful. And what you are doing for the women empowerment is really beautiful. Please keep on going. We will be here for your support. I just want to mention, we are also joined here online by the master student with constitutional and administrative law as a specialization at a National Law Institute, which is at Bhopal in India. I encourage students to consider today's meeting as an opportunity to reach out to our guest speaker for guidance and advice in your current progressive research focus. With this saying, now the next part of the program, which will be a rap song by young Ambedkarite artist named Vikas Tatad. You must have heard many speeches and songs of Dr. Ambedkar, but this is something new. This is the rap song named as Javim Kadak, which will be sung by Mr. Vikas Tatad.
So giving the context, so he just launched this song. So and this is going viral across India. So, and people from other countries also like sending him wishes and saying like, you can sing with us, collaborate with us. So that's why we want to show this, because it's 2 days before he just came up with this song, and he did all the shooting and everything within the community which he is belong from and Ambedkar is from. So I think it will be a wonderful song. Okay. Here we go.
जेव्हा केली सुरुवात मी इथं रॅपची, माहित नव्हतं मले कायले म्हणते रॅप. याच्या त्याच्या रॅपमध्ये दिसत होतं सारं, पण दिसत नव्हतं कोणा रॅपमध्ये मायावाला बाप. चल पलटी मार, हवा अपनी कल्टी मार, जयंती का दिन अपना धांधल पूरा अब की बार. अरे गली में शोर पूरा ताकत से जोर, जुबा पे नुस्ता जय भीम और बज रहे हैं ढोल. चमचम अशी तेज ज्ञानी बुद्धीचा तो तेजा, चटणी भाकर खाऊन घडला भीमराव मायराचा. किती कष्ट बघून तरी बी भिडला गुणाचा लय भिवा. शाळेबाहेर शिकला तरी बी 32 डिग्र्या. भारतातूनच नाही तर सारा विश्वातून हुशार आहे. स्वतःसाठी घर नाही पण पुस्तकासाठी घर आहे. दगड देव नाही आमचा पुस्तक मंदिर आहे. त्या मंदिरातला देव आमचा भीमराव मास्टर आहे. छक्काळातून दम घेऊन पुरा जबडा फाडून म्हणतो, रक्त खतम झालं तरी हाडान करून लिहितो. म्हणतो मेलो तरी चालतो, पण कार्य तू हे सांगतो. माझ्या भीमराव आंबेडकर हे छाती ठोकून सांगतो. एका भयान रातीला गोड सपन पडल, गोड सपन पडल, मन त्यातच घडल. तळागळाच्या मानसा तुला वरती काढल, तुला वरती काढल, तुझं वजन वाढल, वजन वाढल. भीम 100 नंबरी सोन महूच्या मातीचं, भीम 100 नंबरी सोन महूच्या मातीचं. 100 नंबरी सोन महूच्या मातीचं, भीम 100 नंबरी सोन महूच्या मातीचं. पुस्तकाईले उरून पुरला पुस्तकाईचा डॉक्टर, द ग्रेटेस्ट इंडियन ठरला भीमराव आंबेडकर. लंडन कोलंबिया तो सिद्धीवरती शिकला, ब्रेड तुकडे खाऊन तो तरी बी नाही कसला. पुस्तकासाठी रडला, समाजासाठी झटला. कायदे सोबती सोंगाड झोपले, कायदा एकट्याने इथं लिहिला. कसं 32 डिग्र्या, पत्रकार मुख्य नायक अर्थशास्त्री इथला. डबल डॉक्टरेट बॅरिस्टर तो नायक आमचा. ज्ञान सुरुवात तत्वज्ञानी कायदे पंडित क्रांतिकारी. शोभते भारतीय सच्चा, शोभते भारतीय सच्चा. माझ्या जातीचं जातीचं थोर नशीब जातीचं, माझ्या जातीचं जातीचं थोर नशीब जातीचं. भीम 100 नंबरी सोन महूच्या मातीचं, भीम 100 नंबरी सोन महूच्या मातीचं. फुले शाहू आंबेडकर विषयी आपला वेगळा, क्रांती ज्योती शिक्षणाचा सुंदर आम्ही मुखडा. शिक्षणाचं दूध पिऊन आम्ही वागिण्यासारखं घुरतो. हा भीमनगरचा पुट्टा तुम्हाला एकटा पूर्ण उरतो. आणि माहित आहे तुले मग तुझ्या भाऊ किती बसतर, शब्दानं खाऊन टाकतो मग रॅपनं करतो फ्रॅक्चर. आणि मंत्राईनं नाही तुला काही ध्यान जोडून काढतो. या जातीवादी शंभरले मी एकटाच पाहतो. मैं को मालूम करे बंदे यहाँ पे जाती वाले फंदे, पर अपने किसको गिनते हम तो राइट पता से शिखते. अजीगर इतना ताकत रखते सुनते नहीं ना भाई, हम कट्टे सारे गावरानी फिर पीछे हटते नहीं. हाँ आधे इधर नहीं और बाबू आधे उधर नहीं, हम सब एक होने को बंदे टाइम लगता नहीं. हम तो 18 पकड़ भीमनगर लगते जिगर डटके इधर. जय भीम कड़क, जय भीम कड़क, जय भीम कड़क. पिढ्या पिढ्याचं दुखानं नव्हतं एकल्या रातीचं, नव्हतं एकल्या रातीचं. जाती रोगाच्या साथीचं. भीम 100 नंबरी सोन महूच्या मातीचं, भीम 100 नंबरी सोन महूच्या मातीचं. भीम 100 नंबरी सोन महूच्या मातीचं, भीम 100 नंबरी सोन महूच्या मातीचं 100 नंबरी सोन महूच्या मातीचं भीम 100 नंबरी सोन महूच्या मातीचं
Wow, that was really.
Testing a mattress. Head into your local Ashley store and experience your new mattress in a box before you.
Yeah, that's fine. Wow, that was a really beautiful song about Babasaheb. What can I say about it? It was really mind blowing. I'll just say best of luck to you, brother, and keep growing. We will be there for you. Keep making song like this and inspired us. Now coming to the next part of the program, which will be the discussion about the preamble of Indian Constitution, which will be done by Mr. Vikas Tatad.
Okay, so we will just conclude it because it's already out of time, and also I think it's time to eat something. And the Global Studies Department, they offer us the food, and also I want to thank Gary. He helped us from beginning, and he encouraged us to organize the event. So please have a round of applause to the head of the department. They also encourage us. They help us for setting this hall, and they never gave us told us you don't do this, you don't do this. They gave us a freedom to organize this. So please have a round of applause for them as well. And we decided to stay here for a few minutes or few times so we can discuss among us what your thought or what you see, what Ambedkar means to you, and how you see Dr. Ambedkar in global perspective. We heard lots of things from experts, from bureaucrats, from those who have expertise on Dr. Ambedkar's thoughts and all. And I really thanks to all the online viewers and who participated in this. So really thank and Jai Bhim everyone. So I will just ask all the in-person people to just stand on. Where are you? So, and I will read the Indian constitutional preamble and you can recite after when I say this. We the people of India, having solemnly resolved to Indian Constitution, into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic, republic, and to secure to all its citizens justice, social, economic, and political liberty, liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith, and worship, equality of status, and of opportunity, and to promote among them all fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. In our Constitute Assembly, this 26th day of November, 1949, do hereby adopt, enact, and give to ourselves this Constitution. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Jai Bhim.
if anyone wishes to sign.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
here, so
Yeah.
we welcome you to do that.
Also, we have a very anti-caste, anti-racist artwork here by Dr. Sunil Abhiman Auchar. So those who are present here, they can just see the posters. This is all artwork from the downtrodden community, and the incidents you can see, like the Chalo Buddha Ki Or, when he immersed the Buddhism, then you can see the picture of that. Educate, educate, and organize. That's the speech he gave. And all like his newspaper, he started the Muknaik, Janta, Bahishkrit Bharat, Samta, these all newspapers. And the 75 years of caste violence, like it started from thousands of years and still it's going on. So we draw on that. So you can see the lots of pictures. If you want to take that picture, you can take it. So Dr. Sunil Abhiman Auchar, he might be here. If he is here, he can speak. Dr. Sunil sir, hi, are you here? Okay. Yeah, but okay. So those who want to take that picture, and you can take it, you click a photos and post it on social media, then that's how he can get a reach. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
And you can also share the thoughts on Ambedkar, as I said, and you can take your food and sit here and let's discuss here.
So thank you everybody for joining our program, who are online as well as here at the campus. And at the end, I would like to thank everyone who's here, as well as the Global Studies and Columbia University for giving this opportunity to host this program here. Thank you. This is the end of our program. Now there will be a discussion among us here. Thank you very much and good night. If you are.
Thank you all. Thank you all, Jai Bhim.
Jai Bhim.
Jai Bhim.
Jai Bhim.
Jai Bhim everyone.
Jai Bhim, Jai Bhim.
Jai Bhim, Hul Johar.
Jai Bhim everyone.
They can see.
Jai Bhim.
It was a wonderful program. Well done, guys. Keep
Thank
doing
you so
it.
much. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You can see the artwork. We try to show the artwork. People are.
It was amazing. The work done by you is really appreciable. Nan, well done. Keep going. Keep growing.
Thank you so much. Thank you. We need your support for organizing program like this.
Always.
Okay, let's go.
If you're guys there, we will just like to show the statue of Dr. Ambedkar, which is here at Lehman Library. Just hold on a few minutes. We'll take our camera there.
Sure.
Yeah, those who want to see the statue, we are going there. This is the artwork, and yeah, we'll send some pictures on Blue Morning page. You can see the pictures of it. Okay. So we are going to the towards statue, and we'll share that with all the those who are online. Yeah, let's go. So here we are. We little bit decorated it today.
So this is the statue, and here you can see some of the work that he did. असं थोडं असं.
फोटो घे ना आपली.
So these are a couple of photos of him when he was at Columbia, and this is the book. And this is the article he wrote.
We'll take one photo.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Acha. Okay. Okay. I think. Thank you very much. Good night. Jai Bhim.
Jai Bhim. It was a